Good morning. I'm Mackenzie Roth. Welcome to All Indiana Bets. Today, it's all about the NFL.
My name is Jason Hammer, and we're going to make so much money today, it's going to be all the Hot Pockets you can buy.
And I am Scott Long, and speaking of that money thing, if you don't like money, then just turn the channel right now. Otherwise, the fun starts right now. Woo!
Woo!
This is All Indiana Bets. Presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
All right, I said good morning, good afternoon. I mean, some people are just waking up and they're ready to make some money, and that's why you're here, and we are so happy that you are. Jason Hammer, Scott Long joining me now. You guys ready? How you feeling?
This is a big one today.
This is
It's a big game.
Divisional game on the road. Again, I'm not one for hyperbole, but if the Colts lose this game, don't bother showing up for the rest.
Wow, that's a bold statement right there. That's bold, that's bold.
I, on the other hand, am an optimist this week. I hear a lot of pessimism. There was a lot of pessimism last week. The Colts are going to get blown out by the Rams. There was a lone wolf. I don't know the LUNAZUL wolf, but we're talking, I would awaken the wolf and just said, cover, cover, cover. We covered by half a point on the Colts. What do you say about this week, Jason, on that?
I feel like there's a lot of people who are jumping on the Tennessee Titans right now because of the quarterback questions, right?
Right.
That was the million-dollar question
course,
all
yes.
week long. Who is going to start at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts? It sounds like Carson Wentz is going to hobble it out there, give it his best go. And this is a lot of points for a divisional game with a desperate team. I know everything in people's being says Titans win this one going away, but Scott, there's something about this line that kind of smells like a Colts cover to me.
Yeah, I will share that I have strong feelings on the Colts. Here's how strong my feelings were about the Colts. Yesterday, I not only bet on the Colts, I also bet for them to win the game outright on the money line. I'm not telling you to do that, but that's a lot of points. You're making a lot of money.
Right here, I like this.
I went into team futures where the Colts were favored to win the AFC South at the start of the year. Now they were at plus 250. I laid some money down on that as well. That's how big this game is for the Colts and pretty much my credibility. So there's a lot of stress on that.
There's a lot of stress. We're on fire, basically.
Yeah, my credibility is good right this moment.
Yes.
What does that say on
It says we are on fire.
Yeah.
And check this out.
Oh, look at that. There it is. Those are our graphics. 13 people lost their jobs so we could have this graphic to highlight how hot Scott Long has been doing.
Man.
It's true, though. You're making people money, and they're so happy.
My bets are physically kind of like this, the way Mackenzie comes out here, just like her Instagram. I am like Mackenzie's Instagram. What is your Instagram?
It's at Mackenzie Roth.
And you guys can multitask, do it both.
Yes.
So here's what happens. I have been on fire. My colleges are 15-5. I went 4-1 yesterday, went 4-1 in the NFL. I'm telling you, this week is another good week to make money. Jason had a great week last week with the your bets. You got to bounce back.
See,
from
I've got a
college.
winning record overall, but compared to you, like I'm like the team in Major League Baseball that wins 100 games but doesn't win the division.
Yes.
Because you are just on a run right now, a run of all runs. This isn't normal, what you're doing right now.
Do you see they were focusing on me because I am the hot girl. I am totally the hot girl. My
Scott
goodness.
Long.
It's high as fall with Scott Long.
I love it. I have always wanted to be the hot girl. Oh, yes.
Why do you think we have you on the show?
There you
Scott?
go.
Come on.
Now, let me just quickly tell you why I think the Colts will win. I think bad ankles helps the Colts. I think last year you had Phillip Rivers, who loved his beautiful offensive line because the guy couldn't move. He just stayed in the pocket. The offensive line, I was an offensive lineman, they knew how to block for him.
Yeah.
Too much like Carson Wentz trying to make plays happen outside of the pocket. Today he can't. He's a stationary target. The Titans have no kind of pass rush. Their defense isn't very good. We match up well. We've won, I believe, 14 of the last 17 in Tennessee. So you're going to get a lot of great picks today, but stay tuned. Colts is one of them.
Can't wait for that. Well, hey, joining us this morning from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, we have Charlie Clifford.
Charlie
with
Clifford!
the Check down.
Morning, guys. All Indiana bets in the Music City. It just feels right for week 3. I know your number one question is the quarterback situation with the Colts. Carson Wentz expected to start despite just having a limited role in practice on Friday. Now, you may see as many as 3 quarterbacks today, depending on how things play out against the Titans. Brett Hundley, the practice squad quarterback, elevated yesterday to the active roster. And then Jacob Eason, the presumed backup, also in the mix. So where does this leave the line? The Titans favored by 5 points coming off an overtime win at Seattle, the same Seahawks team that really dismantled the Colts late in that game at Lucas Oil Stadium. So Titans by 5. That's where we're at ahead of kickoff. Here are the injury updates that you need to know. Xavier Rhodes will make his season debut at the cornerback spot. His calf finally healthy enough to go. Also, Paris Campbell, the wide receiver, he's back in the mix. He practiced all week. So where does the quarterback thing play out? Minutes up until kickoff. And then ultimately, what can you do against Derrick Henry? He had 182 yards against that Seattle defense last week. We shall see. A pleasure to join you from Nashville. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Charlie. What do you guys think about that?
Did you see Charlie almost get hit with that
He almost
football in the
got
back?
Thank goodness he's okay.
That was amazing information, and I love that. You know, we need the injury updates, but I thought we'd have to put Charlie on the injured list there. That football almost popped my man right in the melon.
Oh, man. Well, we could have made a prop bet on that. You know, will he survive?
Oh, that was very good.
Will he survive? We're going to talk prop bets coming up, but do you have any for the Colts?
Yes, so I'm staying away from quarterback prop bets today, just because you don't know exactly what you're going to hit. Maybe you're one hit away from Carson Wentz being knocked out of this game. So we're going to do the most boring prop bet imaginable, and we're talking about the kickers today. So Rodrigo Blankenship, Hot Rod, my man in the rec specs, over 6.5 points scored today. It feels like he's going to get some field goal opportunities today. Depending on what happens with the quarterback position, the Colts have had some problems in the red zone.
Right.
So this gives you opportunities to kick field goals over 6.5 points. This is really good value. This will double your money because it's at plus 100 right now. So if you were to lay $20 down on Hot Rod going over 6.5 points, you double that $20 and you get 40. Don't bet over $20 on a prop bet.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking more about that coming up later on. This is just a fun way to make the game interesting as it goes on, but you can get some good value on these, and I do like this one.
Hey, Jason, can I ask you, okay, so 6.5, does that mean that, like, okay, if he kicks 2 field goals and 2 extra points?
Winner, winner, chicken
That's
dinner.
7
right.
points,
Okay.
or that's 8 points, actually. So
Yes.
I think the Colts are going to score at least 27 points. If that means 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, there you
You're
go,
a winner.
right? You're a winner.
You are
And
a
I
winner.
like
like
that
that.
strategy. I like that of like no more than $20.
Right.
A prop
Yeah.
bet.
Prop bets are just a fun way
It's fun,
to kind of
to
make
enjoy
the
the
game
game.
a little bit more interesting. Gives you a little extra scratch when you're watching the game.
All right, let's get to the dogs are barking.
Oh, man. This year, you look at what NFL underdogs are doing
yeah.
here. Wow. This is a run. 21-11 against the spread. NFL underdogs this year. 12-18 straight up. They've won straight up on the money line 12 times this year. And Scott, this isn't anything new. No. This is the NFL. You could go back 1 year ago, we'd probably still be talking about early season underdogs having their way with the favorites.
I look at this week and see most of my best bets are underdogs this week. I think most of the favorites, I think you'll look kind of like, correction to the mean, and they'll probably have more favorites that'll win this week. But why not take points? It just makes everything less challenging, you know? So I'm total agreement on this. That's where I think a lot of us that have lost money have made the mistake. Don't always go with the favorites.
Don't go with the faves always. Well, hey, coming up next at All Indiana Bets, we found a local chef who has been known to win big. Ty from Goodwood, Indy. He's coming up next. Don't miss him. We'll be right back. Okay, I know you like the Fighting Irish.
Love the
Do
Irish.
you bet on them? Are you a sports bettor?
I am a sports bettor. I do enjoy it, but I was a one-hit win.
What'd you win?
I won about $13,000 on a wonderful parlay.
You did, and then what
Yes.
happened?
Took it, cashed it out, and bought some wonderful appliances for the house and my lovely wife.
Let's talk tailgating. What is this signature dish you have?
We made a Chicago-style poutine.
Ooh.
We took the incorporations of some tater tots, some beer cheese, all beef hot dog, which you have to have.
Nice.
Some good sweet onions, fresh garden tomatoes, our sport pepper, and you got to decorate it with poppy seeds.
All right, do you just dive in that with your fingers, or would you recommend a fork or a spork?
Well, I guess it depends on how many beers you had on that, right? I would recommend grabbing a couple friends, otherwise you'll have to get a wheelbarrow to get you out of that area.
You know, I feel like the spork is highly underrated.
I'm
It
with
does
you.
both things, right?
How do we not have a food spread in here yet, by the
That's
way?
right. That's right. We need that.
We've got an awesome bar, which I
Yeah.
will be taking advantage of in just a few minutes, but we need a food spread.
We do.
Now, can I tell you what he did wrong, though?
Okay.
So he hits this amazing parlay.
Yeah.
$13,000. That's not
Impressive.
normal. That's not normal.
No.
But he went back and told his wife that he won it all. Here's what you do. You go back and tell your wife, honey, I love you. I won $7,000 in this parlay, and you let the rest of it ride, baby. Let's go.
All right, so that's what's happening in the Hammer household. I see. I think the wifey's on to you, though. She's a smart cookie. I like this.
Now,
All right.
I have
yes.
a really important question.
Yes.
What is that? How do you pronounce that? Poutine?
Yeah, poutine.
Okay, poutine or nachos?
Ooh. I mean,
it's-
that looked delicious. I do love the nachos. though.
It gets all mushy, the potatoes and everything. The nachos is crisp.
That's your jam, yeah.
Who has a, maybe if you live in Montreal, you eat like your French poutine.
All Montreal bets right now is
Yeah.
going to have a big problem with this show.
I get nervous just saying poutine, where it sounds like I'm like maybe gonna be taken off the air. So nachos, or nachos, as they say some places in Indiana, delicious. I go nachos. Okay.
Nachos. I like that. All right, let's talk ballin' on a budget, fellas.
Okay, so if you're into parlay bets, and again, I am not a parlay guy. It's so rare to win one of these things. Everybody always brags when they win, but nobody ever says, yeah, I've lost 5 in a row on these things
Right.
because they're hard to win. But if you're somebody that's got a little bit of money and you're looking for a big payout, here's what you can do today. We've got the Ravens -7 at the Lions. It's 7.5. But I'm going to buy the hook. The hook is that 0.5. So you can go into your favorite sportsbook app, play with the point spread line, and you can take that from 7.5 down to 7. We're buying the hook. We're going to go under 47.5 Falcons at the Giants. This game just looks gross. We've got the Jags against the Cardinals today. Now, if you're looking for a payout, you're going to have to scoop up some points eventually. I like the Jags getting more than a touchdown in this situation. Cardinals going cross country. Trevor Lawrence getting a little bit better every single week. And then we are going to go Monday Night Football. The Eagles on the road taking on the Cowboys. I'll lay the 3.5. I wouldn't be above going up a little bit for more money, taking the Cowboys -4. I like Dallas in this spot at home. $5 parlay here would win you about $65. So if you want to do this one, take a look. If you want to fade me, bet against me, by God, you do you.
That's my favorite term, fade. What about the hook?
The hook, again, that's that 0.5. So when you
Okay.
look at the point spread,
Right.
and it's Ravens -7.5, or today we've got the Bears and the Browns.
That's
the
the
Browns are favored by 7.5. That 0.5, you see it right there, that's the hook. So that's the terminology. If you ever hear somebody talking about the hook, that's what that is. And you can go to your sportsbook app and you can get rid of that. I do that a
love
lot
it.
if you're going to bet a favorite.
And I also say I'm going to fade Hammer all the time, just for fun. Just in life, in general.
Welcome to the
She
party,
does
pal.
constantly.
I'm
You
gonna
wouldn't be
fade
the
you.
first one.
Hey, but coming up, we have Scott's long shot. Ooh,
go. I'm
it's Scott's
excited.
favorite segment. It's up next.
Do you notice how I sit up taller during the long shot?
Yes.
I'm just like so excited to share the news. This is a game today. You see it on the screen. We got these fancy graphics. I thought we'd only rented them for just the college show that we do at 11, but we're doing it on the NFL too. And a lot of bettors know the truth about the Chiefs. They're probably the best team in the NFL, but are they the best team against the spread? Not at all. They've been losing against the spread week after week. And Mackenzie's favorite word, you got to fade the Chiefs in this game. The Chargers are really a talented team. They've basically blown games this year so far. I love the Chargers in this situation. I think the coaching's gotten a little better with the Chargers. The last-minute game, I think they were probably looking at a field goal game either way. The spread's actually gone down a little bit, even though the public money is on the Chiefs. That's a little gambling thing. So how could it be that all this money is going to the Chiefs in regards to, you know, people going to the ticket window, but then you look at the Chargers and the line keeps going down. The big money is going to the Chargers in this game. I don't think there's as much of a home field advantage as there used to be at Arrowhead, because those Chiefs fans used to be insane because they had never won a Super Bowl.
Right, yes.
And they won a Super Bowl, and they show up believing they are going to win. There's a difference going on. It's also a divisional matchup. Now, I know you and I are big on betting underdogs in divisional matchups because both teams know that they have to go in, and this is an extra important win. It's almost like getting 2 wins instead of 1.
Right. And Vegas odds makers overreact so much. And the public, early in the week, they usually jump on the popular favorites.
Right.
Don't pay attention to what the early week numbers are. Pay attention toward the end of the week where the sharps, as we call them, the professional sports bettors with the unlimited bankrolls come in and hammer the other side. That's what you want to keep an eye on.
There you go. I like that a lot. Well, let's talk Packers at 49ers. I'm going to have a little something special for you guys later when we reveal our picks, but let's talk about that game.
This, I think, is a really interesting game. This is the nighttime ball game tonight, the primetime matchup. You've got great quarterbacks here.
Yeah,
I'm going to pick this game a little bit later on, probably for a different reason than you're picking the game, because last time I remember you got a little thing for a certain San Francisco quarterback.
I certainly do. My future husband. Yeah, I'll get to that later. Yeah.
Mackenzie's going to be watching the game at home tonight wearing perfume. I think this is an interesting matchup. You've got what I think is the better quarterback getting points in this one. Scott, I don't know about you, but more often than not, when all things are equal and the better quarterback is getting points, that's kind of a lean for me.
I think most of us get very excited when we're like, hey, we could actually make some money on this game while we watch it, because it's Sunday night. It's the only game in town.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you always have to bet on that. I personally don't feel strongly about it. Just enjoy the game like most people do. Find your other games that are just like when the Falcons are playing, you're like, I have no interest in this game. All of a sudden I got money on the game, I have interest. So I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy and find out the big bet that's gonna happen between the two of you on the Packers and the 49ers tonight, Sunday night.
I love it. I think we should head back to the bar. We've almost made it halfway through
Done.
the show. In the meantime, coming up, we have the Larceny Lock. These are where the guys are, you shoot. Like, this is the best bet for your money, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to have that coming up. And we'll get cocktails. Be right back.
The Larceny Lock is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. Steal a taste.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
I'm looking to steal a taste right now. Bring it on. Here we go. Bartender,
We
thank
typically
you.
don't make it through half the show. We have to
pretty.
make a little visit back to the bar.
My doctor at my
Hey,
last
cheers.
physical said you need to have more fruit. So I put a cherry in this.
Oh, yeah. You know those take a long time to digest, but it's fun.
Yeah, well, so do Pop-Tarts. It doesn't seem to bother me. Let's talk about making some money here, can we?
Yeah, it's time for the Larceny Lock. All right.
I feel like I have to have a little bit in my hand here when we're talking about this.
Okay.
All right, so I like the Patriots in a situation today. I can't believe I'm saying those words on television as a kid who grew up in Indianapolis saying, I'm taking the Patriots and I hope you make money with it. But I'm really looking at Bill Belichick lining up a defense to go against Jameis Winston here. With famous Jameis, you never know what you're going to get. You could get 5 touchdowns, you could get 5 picks. Bill Belichick is notorious for shutting down quarterbacks this way. And here's the thing about Mac Jones with the Patriots. Say what you want about the kid. He's embraced his role as like the game manager, right? He's not trying to be the new Tom Brady. He's not trying to be a superstar. He's the game manager. He's accepted his role, and I think he wants to continue that role of Patriot quarterbacks that lead them to the postseason. I'm going with Belichick here. Not necessarily the Patriots. I'm going with Belichick defense to cover the line here against the Saints in Foxborough.
You were a very popular person coming into this show, and then you make your best bet, the Patriots. What's Scott's best bet? The Colts. Oh, I am loving the Colts, and I'm not one of these people.
Look at this guy.
I don't kiss the Colts butt. The first week, everybody was picking the Colts. I said, stay away from the Colts. It's not going to do you any good. I'm going to share with you right now, one of the great parts of this job is that I'm about picking winners. I don't go in the locker room and have to deal with these guys afterwards. So if I badmouth them a little bit, I feel no fear. But I'm on the Colts bandwagon this week. And also, if you see Carson Wentz, like they pull the stretcher out and they take him off the field, run to the live bet and bet the Titans.
Lord.
Bet the Titans all of a sudden fade me completely because we have no chance with our backups. Wentz is the key today. I believe he'll play great and he'll stay in that nice, beautiful pocket that our very expensive offensive line will build for him.
I am a guy who has covered locker rooms before. The NFL locker room is like the wild, wild west, right? NBA locker rooms, they make you wear a towel and stuff.
Yes.
NFL locker rooms, at least when I did it, you were stepping over stuff.
How'd you feel? Did you feel inferior?
Very
or were you
inadequate.
Okay?
Yeah. Very inadequate, Mackenzie. Thank you.
On that note, coming up, we're talking prop bets. We like to call this prop, lock, or drop it. We're going to explain. We'll be right back. There is no one we'd rather spend Sunday Funday with than you. Thank you for being here, All Indiana Bets. All right, so here's the deal. We call it prop, lock, or drop it. We're talking prop bets. Now, typically Hammer writes these on his, I don't know what you want to say.
In my office in the morning.
And I'm scared to touch the paper he writes them on. Okay, do you have prop bets for us?
I do.
I asked you to email them to me.
No, not again. Not again. Man, come on now. Be professional.
Those are notes
These are notes. I'm scared about this.
from the place where I do my best thinking.
Oh, okay, sure.
And that's why I have that huge jug of hand sanitizer over there. All right, let's do this. All right. This is going
Can we get a sponsor
Hey,
for that?
have you heard of, no, honestly, have you heard of Pure Hell? Purell, this is Pure Hell. That's what, we need something that would actually squirt that out to clean your hands. Go ahead, I'm
Oh
sorry.
my gosh. Okay,
I
let's
stepped on the
dive in.
punchline.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Rodrigo Blankenship over 6.5 points. Do you like this bet, like 20 to win 40?
Yes, we gave that earlier. I'm
Yeah.
all in on this. This is the one prop bet in a Colts game that I'm in on.
All
This
right.
is the one I feel comfortable with because the quarterback situation, it's an unknown. And when the quarterback situation is an unknown, when your quarterback is literally one hit to the legs away, that changes everything.
Okay, so you like that. All right, you're into it. Okay, what about Rams QB? We got Matthew Stafford over or under 307.5 yards passing.
I am going to lock this in, and we're going over on this one.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to be a game to where if the Rams are going to win, they're going to have to throw the ball. If the Rams are behind and they're trailing, they're going to have to throw the ball.
True.
And Matthew Stafford right now, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever in his career, has got a team where he can drop back and hit his slot receivers, hit his deep receivers, and he's got time to do it. I'm going over on this one because either way, I think if the Rams are going to have success, they need him to go over.
Okay, they need him. What about this one? Player to have more passing yards. That's the question. Cincinnati. We got Joe Burrow or Pittsburgh's Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm going to tell you to drop this prop bet, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
This isn't a cop-out. It's because both of these guys have a little history with injuries.
Yeah.
And the one thing that can beat you in a prop bet is an injury. So last week, if you remember, we had completion totals on Carson Wentz. We missed that by 1 completion because he was knocked out with a couple of minutes left to go in the game.
That's right.
If I had to pick one here, I like Joe Burrow, but because of these guys and their history with being knocked out, I'm going to drop this one. There are other ones to pick.
That one that you brought up last week with him needing only 1 more completion. These games have been so easy for me. I don't even really focus on my own games. I focus on Hammer's picks.
That's such a backhanded compliment.
It's like, thanks, I think.
And I was like, oh man, he's going to get this one. And then he gets hurt. I'm like, man, you got hammered. You got hammered on that one. So I hope that this turns out better this week.
All right, here's another one. Will Detroit QB Jared Goff, will he throw an interception?
Did the sun come up today? Is water wet? Yes, because Detroit is going to be behind.
Right.
That's what Detroit does. Those are Detroit things. And when you're behind, you throw the ball. When you're needing an interception, all you need is opportunities. You want the quarterback to throw the ball, put the ball in the air, and if you're behind, which we think Detroit will be, you have to force a few passes. That's where you get your winner on the interception bet. Lock that one in.
All right, locking it in. I like that a lot. Well, hey, coming up next, it's the wise guy, Ryan Kramer.
Here we are, our Wise Guy segment. We are taping this on Thursday of this week. Scott's a busy man doing his stand-up. And we have, of course, Ryan Kramer, our NFL expert of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Ryan, say what to the NFL this week?
You know what? It's been a dog-eat-dog world in the NFL so far. Dogs 19-13 against the spread, which makes you wonder, will it continue to be that doggy world this weekend?
Now, are you giving us like some insight on maybe a pick or two this week?
I certainly like to look to the dog first. And for the first one, I'm going to stay in Indy because, boy, do I love this Colts team. 0-2 teams are 14-5-1 against the spread when facing a divisional opponent in week 3. We're going to buy the stock when it's low, especially against the Titans team coming off a big emotional win on the road against Seattle.
Hey, people that have been watching the show know that I loving the Colts this week as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that one. What is your other pick for this week?
Well, I'm going to stay with a dog, and I'm going to caution you to let you know that sometimes public dogs have fleas. This week, everyone is talking about Justin Fields making his first start. Everyone is excited about what he's going to do on the field, but let's not forget, he dropped in the draft for a reason. A lot of people think it has something to do with the release time. And if he comes out there with a slow release time behind that offensive line, I could see serious problems. I like taking the other side, laying the points with Cleveland.
I'm loving this info. You're making me think. Here we go. It is week 3. Thank you again, Ryan Kramer. Hope to see you next week when you're sitting 2-0. Back to the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Thanks. Best of luck. And hopefully, yes, we are carrying around bags of cash after this weekend.
All right. Always good to hear from the wise guy.
That's like the baseball cap segment of the show every time.
It is.
And you know,
I like
here,
that.
Ryan lives in Los Angeles. We go kind of, national with this show. And loves the Colts too.
Yes,
And he's a wise guy.
he is.
Now, what does that mean? Like, because we have that on the screen, and people might not be as savvy into sports betting as we are. Explain the term wise guy.
His whole focus in life is betting on sports. That's his focus. He's had a podcast for 10 years that's very popular, and it's about betting, especially on the NFL.
Yeah, and that's his passion, and he
that is
exudes
his
it,
passion.
right?
And it's how he makes a living.
Yeah,
Right.
It's incredible, right? And so we are loving also, we're getting tons of feedback on social media. Please keep it coming. Our handles were just up on the screen, but we love to interact with you guys. Yeah.
At Jason Allen Hammer, I welcome your hate
There you
mail.
go.
Trust me, you won't be the first one. Come on in. Like when you follow me on Twitter, welcome to the jungle, baby. You're going to get a
Yes.
little bit of everything, I
And
promise you.
I'm heavily more on Instagram, but at Mackenzie Roth. Scott?
Yeah, there is a visual element that you need to take in where Jason, he doesn't post photos of himself. That's a bonus in following him on Twitter.
Those are DMs.
Yes.
However, we might make a bet coming up that might
Yes,
change.
I am Scott Comedy on Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, get a hold of me on that. I'm out on the road right now, all the big cities. I'm on a tour tomorrow, Sioux City, Iowa.
Awesome.
I am playing all the big places. Who knows? I could be in Minot. I could be in
You never know where
Peoria.
this one's gonna
You
pop
do
up.
not know where I'm going to be performing.
Not everybody gets invited to Whiteland.
Yes, exactly. Oh man, I want to know what you guys think about this Bucks-Rams game.
So is this the biggest game, or is it the 49ers and the Packers
It's the
here?
Bucks and the Rams because it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, world champions. And you already told us what again on the Rams? What did you think?
I like over on Matthew Stafford's
Yeah.
passing total, 307.5.
So I guess that speaks to how you think the game. It's going to be an offensive kind of juggernaut game. I don't have a feel on this game. I just am looking forward to watching it. Once again, I like to bet on games that I don't care about.
That's smart advice because
Yeah.
remember I used to bet with my heart and then I
Right.
was losing and there was like a double lose
And
win, right?
look at that line, 0.5. That's basically pick'em.
Yeah.
That's pick'em by Las Vegas standards.
Come on,
here.
Vegas. It's pick'em.
Yeah.
Right,
Don't put the
0.5.
hook on that one.
And I've seen it multiple places too. So I like this ball game a lot because I think you're going to have to see a lot of passing. So find your prop bets. If you want to do prop bets on Tom Brady, that's great. If you want to do it on Matthew Stafford, I'm in on Stafford because even if they're behind or if they're winning, the Rams are going to have to throw the ball. The Buccaneers can give up some yards through the air. We saw the Cowboys beat them a little bit in week 1.
And you had mentioned about the Eagles, Cowboys. I don't have a play on it, but I actually like the Eagles in that game. I found that the Eagles, from my research, do a lot of research, Mackenzie.
I know you do.
I will just share that the Eagles have actually played better in Dallas against the Cowboys than they have when they're in Philadelphia. It's very weird.
That is very weird. Okay, thanks for that insight. Hey, when we come back, we're going to go downtown to the WISEGUY Lounge. Ooh. And we're going to make a great Manhattan. That's up next.
Hello friends, Brent Holverson here, Regional Manager for Heaven Hill Brands for the state of Indiana, and we have a treat for you today. We're here at Goodfellows Pizzeria and WISEGUY's Lounge. We've got Brennan back here and a special guest, Mr. Bernie Lubbers, our Global Whiskey Ambassador. Going to talk to us today about one of our new brands to the Elijah Craig family, our Elijah Craig Rye, and Brennan's going to show us how to make a Elijah Craig Rye Manhattan. Bernie, tell us a little bit about what we got going on here.
Well, just like Elijah Craig bourbon, Elijah Craig Rye has extra aged rye in it. So 8-year-old and older rye whiskeys make up the small batch of Elijah Craig Rye. And at 94 proof, has a nice little punch to it for making a Manhattan. And rye is the perfect spirit for a Manhattan, isn't it, Brendan?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's even the way that they used to do it back in the Prohibition era. You use an old fashioned, you make it with bourbon, Manhattan with rye. So that's a classic way to do it, and I think it brings out the flavors a little bit more when you do a rye Manhattan instead of a bourbon one.
Cool, and one of the ways I remember how I can make a Manhattan at home, or does it, is 2 parts of the spirit, 1 part of the vermouth, and a dash of bitters, and that would be 212, which is the area code for Manhattan. So see, it's the way I remember it. I need simple, is what I need.
And it's actually perfect. It's like a simple, easy cocktail that you can make at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just going to be, we're using the Elijah Craig Rye. It's just 2 ounces of that. And like he said, it's 2-1. So then you'll take 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. We use Dolan here. 2 ounces of the bourbon, 1 ounce of the vermouth, and then a couple dashes of the Angostura bitters. And that's gonna get stirred.
2-1-2, ladies and gentlemen. That's an easy way to remember it. And again, this will be stirred instead of shaking because it's all spirit. And then it's again that you want to have that ice just to chill it down. Also, it becomes water when you're stirring it in that cocktail. And that is, I guess, the 4th ingredient, if you will, would be the water. It just makes a great presentation. I like having a Manhattan up, which means not on the rocks. It's just by itself in that lovely glass there. How many times you stirring that around?
About 44. It's actually become more of like a habit now. I don't know if it's probably like 42 or 46 when I do it, but I've done it so many times that I think it's close.
All right.
But that is like the standard is 44 stirs. Strain that into a coupe glass, and we'll add a sherry as well.
That's about as simple as it gets and elegant. You know, it's easy to mess that drink up though, even though it's very few ingredients.
Yes.
And that's it looks gorgeous.
And that's the Elijah Craig Rye Manhattan.
Thank you, Brennan. Nothing like a little 212 and a little 317, right? Cheers. Outstanding. Come and join us again for our next version of On the Rocks. We'll see you then.
On the Rocks is brought to you by Elijah Craig Small Batch Bourbon.
He was smooth. Did you hear that? 44
I know.
stirs.
I'm
Not
watching
42.
this guy. He's an artist. And then we got this guy making a drink that melted my face. It was delicious.
Listen,
but
what
wow.
happened to you guys? Like, I feel like Bluto in Animal House here. This could be the greatest night of our lives, but you're gonna let it be the worst. Oh, we're afraid to drink your drinks, Hammer. They might be too strong. Well, not me. I'm not gonna take this.
We're feeling good, and we hope you are too, because it's time for our picks. You guys ready?
Yeah.
You go first.
Is it the Mick pick time?
I'm gonna do the Mick pick.
Oh.
Okay, I'll do the Mick pick first. All right, guys. Pretty much, I'm no surprise here. I'm taking 49ers over Packers because it is the battle of the handsomes. That's right. I'm picking my future husband, Jimmy G. 49ers over Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It's a home opener. All right, San Fran. It's gonna be a night game, and I'll be watching this one with some wine. Wearing some perfume, during the commercials. I'll be picking out future wedding destinations, tropical spots, and so I'm definitely going to take the 49ers this one.
How come you don't call the pick contest between Scott and I the Battle of the Handsomes?
The
Mackenzie?
battle of the
We got to put that in the teleprompter for next week. But before I hear what you're going to say on this, Jason, what do you think of the new Aaron Rodgers look?
I like it. Shailene Woodley, of course, his
Yeah.
new woman.
Oh, stop it.
I
If that dude worked at Wendy's, you would not look twice at that guy. I promise you.
You'd
You'd
ask
be like,
him
who's
that.
that dude that screwed up my Frosty?
Right.
But
not
because he's the
true.
quarterback of the Packers, oh, Aaron Rodgers, you're so dark and handsome. Okay, let's get into some
You know
money
I'm a
making
Jimmy
here.
G girl, though.
I like the Rams at home tonight. I will take the Rams on the money line. I don't need the 0.5 because that's just a pick 'em. Let's go Rams money line. Bills, I'm going to buy the hook and get that down to 7. I like the Browns. I'm going to go with our wise guy on this one. Justin Fields first start. Welcome to the NFL. And I gave you the Patriots earlier. Let's go make some cash.
Woo!
I'm feeling good about that. I really am excited. I heard the wise guy also say, go with the Colts. I like the Colts a lot, as you heard. And I also love the Chargers today, as you heard. I like the Falcons, who I always lose money on. So if you're going to pick one of these,
Nobody's ever won a Falcons bet, ever.
Exactly.
Ever.
But I still like the Falcons. That's too many points to give to the Falcons, +3. I like the Vikings, -2. I think a lot of people are on the other side of that. So there we go. Those are our best bets, I guess, that we're going to be talking about next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're at least 3-2 and 4-1. That's been my middle name every week. And I know Hammer is probably like, if I could go 5-0 and Scott go 1-4, I would secretly be very happy with that.
Oh, there's no secret about it.
There's no secret about it.
You're wrong, because there'd be no secret about it.
You know what's fun, though, is when we make bets. I feel like we should make a bet.
Okay. All right. What do you got in mind, little lady?
Okay, I'm gonna say I would love you to do like a glamour shot if I win.
Yes.
Like I'm talking like back in the day, glamour shots at the mall.
Right.
Like just like wind through your hair.
Like
We'll
a
put,
Zoolander
some
type of
feather,
turn.
like boa around you.
Okay.
Great
Are
idea.
you down for that?
Great idea.
You lost previously.
Yes.
WishTV.com is the spot if you want to see that video. And you were a beautiful blonde Christina Aguilera. So I think you could pull this off.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me think about this. I'll tell you what I want you to do when we come back. We got to take a break.
Ooh, that's cute.
Okay?
All right.
That's next.
All right. Don't go anywhere.
Love it.
All Indiana Bats is presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Welcome back. We are so glad you're here. All right, Hammer, so we have a bet in play right now. I'm taking San
You and I.
Fran. Yes, you're taking the Packers. Now, if I win, you're going to do a glamour shot.
Right, on my
To the
Twitter
nines.
accounts.
Yes. Okay. Now, what do I have to do if I lose?
So if Green Bay covers the spread tonight or even wins outright, you have to post a photo on your Facebook page kind of recreating the Al Bundy picture where you got your hands in the pants and you got a slobby shirt on, and the caption needs to be "something ain't sitting right."
Okay. All right, let's bet on it. Let's
Deal.
bet. Okay,
Handshake deal. Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
Come on,
Come on,
Jimmy
Aaron
G.
Rodgers. I know you don't talk to your family, but talk to your boy tonight. Let's go.
I feel like you have a lot more to lose, Mackenzie, than he does in this one.
I do too. I make him feel pretty when he takes pretty pictures.
Enjoy the games. May the
Yes.
odds be in your favor, baby.
Go Colts!